Embracing the Absurd, an article on navigating life's nonsensical maze. Introduction: Absurdism is like looking at the world and saying, hey, life doesn't make much sense, but let's make the best of it anyway. Imagine you're playing a video game, and suddenly the rules change for no reason. Absurdism is like shrugging and saying, okay, let's see how I can still have fun in this crazy game. This philosophy, born out of the existentialist movement in the mid-20th century, challenges the very nature of human existence and the pursuit of meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe. The absurd universe. To delve into the heart of absurdism, we must first understand the absurd universe it presents. Picture this: a vast, chaotic cosmos where the rules are arbitrary and meaning is elusive. It's akin to finding yourself in a labyrinth with no map, where each turn leads to more confusion rather than clarity. Absurdism contends that life lacks inherent purpose or meaning, and any attempts to find rationality in an irrational world are futile. To illustrate this concept, consider the story of Alex, a man who wakes up one day to find himself in a world where gravity fluctuates unpredictably. Sometimes objects fall up, and sometimes they fall sideways. Alex, initially bewildered, soon realizes that trying to make sense of this gravity-defying world is an exercise in futility. Instead of succumbing to despair, he decides to embrace the chaos, inventing new ways to navigate his topsy-turvy reality. In this tale, Alex mirrors the absurdist spirit by confronting the absurdity of his situation and choosing to create his own meaning in the face of a senseless universe. The absurd hero. Central to absurdism is the concept of the absurd hero, an individual who confronts the meaninglessness of life with defiance and resilience. This hero is not defined by grand achievements or conventional success, but by their ability to rebel against the absurdity of existence. Let's meet Sarah, a character who embodies the essence of the absurd hero. Sarah, a young artist, dreams of creating a masterpiece that will capture the essence of the human experience. However, as she delves into her work, she realizes the futility of her quest for ultimate meaning. Undeterred, Sarah continues to paint, not for the sake of achieving some profound truth, but simply because the act of creation brings her joy and purpose. In the face of an indifferent universe, Sarah becomes an absurd hero by embracing the absurdity of her pursuit and finding fulfillment in the sheer act of creating, detached from the need for a grand purpose. The absurdity of human pursuits. One of the key tenets of absurdism is the examination of human pursuits in the context of a universe devoid of inherent meaning. It questions the validity of our goals and ambitions, suggesting that the very act of seeking purpose may be an absurd endeavor. Consider the tale of James, a man who dedicates his life to accumulating wealth, only to realize on his deathbed that money cannot provide meaning in a universe that lacks intrinsic purpose. James, in his pursuit of material success, becomes ensnared in the absurdity of attaching significance to transient and arbitrary goals. The Myth of Sisyphus, Albert Camus, a prominent figure in the absurdism movement, explores the concept of the absurd through the myth of Sisyphus. In Greek mythology, Sisyphus is condemned to roll a boulder up a hill, only to watch it roll back down for eternity. Camus uses this myth as a metaphor for the human condition, suggesting that our ceaseless pursuit of meaning is akin to Sisyphus's futile task. In the spirit of the absurd, let's reimagine the myth of Sisyphus with a twist. Picture Sisyphus realizing the absurdity of his predicament and choosing to dance with the boulder as it tumbles down the hill. In this reimagined tale, Sisyphus rebels against the meaninglessness of his task by finding joy in the absurd act itself. This playful dance with the boulder symbolizes the absurdist philosophy of embracing the absurdity of existence and creating one's own meaning in the face of a seemingly indifferent universe. The absurd in everyday life. Absurdism isn't confined to grand philosophical musings. It permeates the fabric of everyday life. Consider the mundane yet absurd experiences that pepper our existence. Picture Mary, a woman who diligently follows a recipe to bake a cake, only to realize she forgot to include a crucial ingredient. Instead of lamenting the culinary mishap, Mary decides to embrace the absurdity of the situation and presents her friends with a new and improved cake, surprising them with an unexpected twist. This light-hearted example encapsulates the absurdist ethos of adapting to life's unpredictability with humor and resilience. Facing the void, absurdism and nihilism. Critics often associate absurdism with nihilism, another philosophical perspective that asserts life lacks inherent meaning. However, there's a crucial distinction between the two. While nihilism often leads to despair and the rejection of all values, absurdism advocates for confronting the void with a rebellious spirit. Instead of succumbing to nihilistic despair, the absurdist confronts the absurdity of existence and chooses to live authentically, creating meaning in the face of meaninglessness. To illustrate this distinction, let's consider the story of Emma, a woman who, after a series of setbacks, contemplates the meaning of life. In a nihilistic framework, Emma might conclude that life is devoid of purpose and resign herself to apathy. However, adopting an absurdist perspective, Emma recognizes the inherent absurdity of her quest for ultimate meaning. Instead of despairing in the face of the void, she embraces the absurdity of existence and decides to find joy in the simple pleasures of everyday life, creating her own meaning in the process. Humor in the absurd. Humor becomes a powerful tool in navigating the absurdity of existence. Imagine a world where everyone speaks in riddles, and communication becomes a comical dance of misinterpretations. In this whimsical scenario, individuals like Jake emerge as absurd comedians, reveling in the absurdity of language and turning miscommunication into a source of amusement. By infusing humor into the absurd, Jake not only copes with the chaotic nature of his reality, but also celebrates the joy that can be found in the midst of life's nonsensical moments. The end. Thanks for watching. Please share and subscribe for more such videos.